What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at the all-new 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. This one is an all-wheel drive performance calligraphy design, finished off in gravity gold matte. This one is priced at $79,500. Let's get right into Hyundai's electric three-row SUV, see what this has to offer. Taking a look at the specifications for the all-new 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. Up in front, you are going to get a nice little trunk storage space. We have a few accessory bags for charging cables and things like that. Tire kit. This is a fully electric car. You're going to find a 110.3 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery pack. It can also do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds with a curb weight at 6,000 pounds. We have 422 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. This is an all-wheel drive SUV, and max range is around 311 miles. The overall length is 199.2 inches, with the wheelbase at 123.2. Width is 78 inches, with height at 70.5. Moving on to the exterior styling with Hyundai's all-new 2026 Ioniq 9. This has a super unique look all around. For the headlights, you have this really cool daytime running light in the upper portion that cuts its way all the way across the front bumper. Down below, you're gonna get this gloss trim piece with an integrated camera, safety sensors, parking sensors. Headlight beams are over here with the multi-beam design. Has a pretty unique style for sure, very smooth in the front, and you can see how it's kind of a smoked out plastic with all the design underneath it. Down below, we have more of the matte color along with some gloss. We have functional openings as well to provide cooling when needed. So definitely a super unique vehicle, very laid back look. It's kind of a luxury modern style. Got the massive Hyundai badge up above, very smooth lines on this hood with sharp lines on the far corners. So definitely super unique. Around the side, you're gonna get more parking sensors down below, body colored for these fender arches with a really cool unique design. And then we have the 21-inch wheels with a multi-spoke look, two-tone color. Got more of that gloss black trim for the side skirt area, and then sharp lines throughout these doors. Power folding side mirrors, and you can tell how those door handles pop out as well when you walk up close to it. They're all body colored, and then we have some polished trim surrounding the windows along with more gloss black. And then up above, you're gonna see that panoramic sunroof along with silver roof rails up above. For the overall side profile, this is a three-row family SUV. I like how the rear end kind of dips downwards a little bit to give you that laid back, low slung look. It's a big vehicle though, it has some size to it. Very unique, of course, with the sharp lines for the fender arches, for the fender flares themselves. Then you have our charge port, some more silver trim throughout this third window. And then as we make our way in back, you get a massive taillight wrapping around the entire rear end of the car. So pretty cool with all the little squares integrated into it. You can see how everything is going to light up. Hyundai badge is right integrated into the glass, and then we have Ioniq 9 embedded into the bodywork. Got your H-Track logo, more of the body color down below with gloss black. You also have the gloss silver, all your parking sensors, reverse right in that center. And then when we take a look at the key fob, you get lock, unlock, remote start, the Hyundai badge integrated, and then we have all that smart park feature on the side of the key fob. You can remote drive this car forwards and back using the key fob, which is really cool. Of course, you can tap the unlock button to get everything to pop outwards or just by walking up to the vehicle. Opening the door, checking out the interior, you're gonna get a nice dark gray along with the light color accent all throughout it. So a nice two-tone. And then along the door panel, you have this soft touch plastic type material up above, some silver trim, massive release handles. We have two different memory seat icons along with massaging, and then we have all of our window and mirror controls. Massive grab handle and armrest, some perforations throughout the leather, and then storage down below with more of the silver trim and Bose audio. You got Ioniq 9 down in the door sill, all of your power controls as well. We have lumbar support, all different controls, leg rest, and you can even press one of these buttons and you will get a leg rest to pop out and turn this into a recliner, which is a pretty cool touch. Both front seats will have this option. That way you can be nice and comfortable when you're waiting for it to charge. So cool design with all these fancy luxuries. Along the seats, you have this really nice smooth leather type material, perforations throughout the center, and then I like how we just have these stripes making our way up all the way to the back. Smooth headrest design, and then a unique steering wheel with a two-tone color. You can also see these 4 LED lights within the steering wheel, which is a cool touch. On the left side, you're gonna get your basic controls for cruise control. You can also configure the center screen. You can go through a few different items right here, and then toggling up and down, we have a lot of vitals and things like that within the car. We have your speedometer, of course, your range over on the right side. Right side of the steering wheel, we have some shortcuts as well as your volume. That drive select is down below with our P button over here, that engine start stop, and then you just twist it forwards and back to engage drive and reverse. We have paddle shifters up above, which will adjust your regen braking. You can see that on the far corner. And then the stalk on the right side for all the windshield wipers, stalk on the left for your turn signals. If you go ahead and toggle the drive modes, which are going to be all down below, we have drive and terrain. If you push that, it will toggle between the two. So right now we have our normal drive modes. You can see Eco, normal sport, and then tapping this, we now have a couple different off-road settings. Over on the left side, we're going to get one of your air vents. Down here, we have the front and rear trunk area, a couple other controls, just some plastic material with a silver color, heads-up display, and then some soft touch way up above. You have this pretty neat looking plastic trim that kind of looks like a marble metal type color, and then more silver plastic trim for the front here. For the center screen, this is your typical Hyundai design, very familiar if you're used to modern Hyundais. You have these large tiles as well, all sorts of settings. We have seat controls you can go into. You can see all of that. Home button over here, home screen you can configure. If I go into reverse, you're going to get a nice backup camera with a top-down view. You can configure all sorts of different views, of course, and then we even have a 360 look. So very easily you can swipe around, going back into P, we're back into park. 2 air vents in the center, and then some nice controls down here. We have your physical controls for the center screen just to get you into a quick area. So it makes it super simple just to get into everything. Climate controls are their own area. You have your dual zone temperature with toggles, heated and ventilated seats, zones right in the center, heated steering wheel. There's extra plugs all down below with a ton of storage, and then even more storage all down below that. For the center area, we have 2 cup holders right here, downhill assist, auto hold, shortcut to the parking and cameras, wireless phone charging, and we can open that up, and we have a ton of hidden space all in the center. For the glove box over here, there is some hidden storage space, and then we can pull that down for extra space. One last look at the interior. It's got a unique layout for sure, pretty cool overall. And then over on the right side, you can just get a good idea of how the door is integrated with the seats and the cool color. There's even controls on the side of that seat to get it out of the way. And then that massive panoramic sunroof with a very cool suede-like material for the headliner. Got all your dome-like controls as well as the glass control, and then the rear view mirror has the camera integrated along with some garage door buttons. Moving on to the rear seat space, I can just grab the door handle and open it up, and then the door panel is all finished off just like we see up front with the soft touch plastics, the 2-tone color. There's a little bit extra storage space, and we even have a massive set of manual sunshades. For this spec, we have nice captain chairs with all the same designs, and you even have all power controls with the massive leg rest up in front. You're going to get heated and ventilated seating with their own climate controls all integrated. There's storage all down below. You can just grab this, pull it out. We have a nice glove box. And from here, you can even open this up and gain access. We have a couple plugs, we have extra storage, and a ton of legroom with the driver's seat at my height. So sitting back here now at 5'11", this is a pretty nice rear seat area. Can definitely fit, no big deal. I mean, I have plenty of headroom. There's air vents in the ceiling along with your grab handles, and overall really good amount of space. And then if we just go ahead and tap this icon right here, the second rows are going to slide forwards, getting out of the way to gain access into that third row. So back here, you're going to see 2 seats. So nice 4 passengers in the back. You're going to get extra cup holders on that far side. There's even controls. And then as I make my way inside, you can see those reclines. There's even some USB ports. So sitting here, the seat is actually pretty comfortable. Let me recline it a little bit, give myself extra space, but we still have air vents up above and you have good headroom. The seat base is a little on the small side, so definitely not the greatest. And then by just pressing the button up on the top of this seat, we can slide this back. You feel really low, so this seat is like kind of very low feeling in the car, which is rather interesting. But even with this seat, I mean, I still have good legroom overall. And then moving on to the cargo space, we're gonna get a button right underneath the queue. You can press that, and we have that power lift gate. Now behind the third row, we have 21.9 cubic feet of cargo volume, so still pretty spacious. We can even lift up the floor, get a little bit of hidden space. And then on this right side, we're gonna have controls for the second and third row. So if I go ahead and press those 2 for these third row seats, they're gonna automatically fold flat, headrests will even get out of the way. Now with the third row all the way folded down, we have 46.7 cubic feet of cargo volume, nice and squared off. And then if we go ahead and press these ones as well, those seats are gonna go into their backmost position. Doesn't seem like you can really easily get them into this position from the front, but I like how from back here, we can easily get them flat. And now we have 86.9 cubic feet of cargo volume, which is quite large. Button up here, we can press, automatically close up the power liftgate. And then once again, taking a look through the side, everything is gonna fold nice and flat, truly making this a very practical SUV. All right, so setting off now in the Ioniq 9, we'll leave it in sport mode. So this does have a little bit of some off-road capabilities. Maybe if you're going on like a weekend camping trip or something with its all-wheel drive and the few drive modes, it's a pretty cool touch. Giving it some throttle. Thing's pretty quick. It weighs 6,000 pounds, so it's obviously not a small or lightweight vehicle, but for being a 3-row, I mean, this is very quick, as you would expect for any electric vehicle. Now, overall comfort as a driver, the seat's pretty nice. You have a ton of different maneuverabilities to be nice and comfortable. You have the power controls for the steering wheel as well. So pretty good front row here. Lots of visibility, good view around, no crazy blind spots. The second row headrest gets a little bit in the way, hitting some big bumps. This thing tackles bumps really nicely. You can tell the luxury aspects that are in this SUV. So I feel like they did a pretty good job just giving you that aspect. This is a luxury car for 80 grand, you know, it better be quite nice. And then getting up and going once again. You can spin the tires a little bit when you're accelerating, but definitely nice and zippy. It's been really easy just to zip it around town, and with the amount of space that this car has, it's pretty incredible how practical this really is. This is a nice, normal, big SUV without being too big, honestly. Now, when you're driving it, it is super comfortable, super smooth. You really don't hear much wind noise or road noise. I mean, it's just kind of gliding over the bumps really effortlessly. So they've done a good job insulating you from the outside, and then with all the glass, the panel roof, things like that, I mean, it feels pretty nice and open. Now, the interior, for $80,000, this is all plastic. It looks cool, but the more you look at it, I mean, it's got a soft touch, but you can tell it's just all plastic in here. So that's maybe my one gripe for $80,000. You can get a nice pre-owned, like a CPO BMW X7, which, you know, that's gonna be a nice BMW interior. So that's kind of my only toss-up with this, is maybe just the color, but I don't know, it does feel kind of like a plasticky interior for $80,000. And of course, with EVs in general, you know, they're just more expensive in general. So that's kind of just my downfall with it, is just it's a lot of money for, you know, not a premium brand. Doesn't mean it's not nice. It has all the amenities, all the luxury features you would expect for $80,000, and definitely fits the bill for that, and it's super practical overall. I like how the second and third row operate too. I think that makes it nice and easy. So nothing really crazy about the driving experience that I wouldn't like. I'd say overall it's a nice to drive car. It does feel a little big, kind of feels like a big minivan, to be quite honest, more than an SUV. So it's kind of that spacious, kind of airy feel like in a minivan. So it's a little bit interesting versus a normal SUV. And then obviously the styling is quite crazy looking with how unique it is. So my honest thoughts with the all-new 2026 Ioniq 9, I'd say it's a pretty cool way to go if you are looking for an electric car. Obviously, electric cars and gas cars, there's definitely a divide between who likes what. If you are looking for a 3-row SUV that has the electric aspects, you know, not really too many compete with this. Of course, Hyundai's own brand, Kia, you know, they have a similar version of this. But if you want the Hyundai version, this is basically, I guess, like a luxury 3-row family SUV competing with things like the BMW X7. Obviously, it's not electric. There are plenty of nice 3-row SUVs out there for around the $80,000 mark. And this one basically is your electric option if you want something a little bit on the unique style. So design-wise, I'd say not everyone's gonna like it. I think it looks a little interesting, a little odd. It's a very unique style, let's just put it that way. Cool though, Hyundai's doing something a little bit different. Obviously, they have a couple electric cars that are very uniquely styled and they stand out, so a lot of people do like that. Interior, it feels like your typical Hyundai. You know, Hyundais have really nice interiors, lots of good amenities, lots of bells and whistles. So you're getting a feature-packed car like any loaded Hyundai. They do a great job giving you feature-packed. Again, my biggest downfall is just everything does feel like it's plastic. So for 80 grand, that's just my one toss-up. You got a lot of plastic for a lot of money. So this price point, you can get gas cars that are true luxury brands with leather and really, really high-end materials all around. Just the bit of plastic in here, it bugs me a little bit. Driving though, this really shines when you're driving it. It is super smooth. We're going 50 miles an hour, even going down some twisty turns and things like that. I mean, mean, it's just smooth. It takes the turns well. Not that fast in the normal mode. So to really get the power out of it, you gotta be in sport mode. That way the full electric juice really hits you when you hit the throttle pedal. So you do have to use those drive modes to get all the power out of it. If you leave it in eco mode and you only drive it like that, you know, it's not gonna feel that fast even when you floor it. So you're gonna play the drive modes a little bit when you want to really experiencing it, but I think overall they've done a good job giving you a luxury focused electric car. And as far as the family-friendly aspects, if you're buying this, you probably have a family, given it has a nice second row and a nice third row. The fact that the second row literally has lounge chairs with heated and vented options, you have climate controls, tons of storage space, tons of space in general. I mean, this really would be a fantastic family road trip vehicle. You just have to deal with the downsides of electric cars, which is charging them. But there is the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9 top trim level, sweet paint job, cool color combo inside and out. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.